This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why hire a camera operator when the control is in your hands? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. And by NewTek, makers of the TriCaster TC1. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtek.com for more information.
It's Friday, and it's time for some game time, and we're excited to be here. But I got a bone to pick here first with this guy. Because this guy, earlier today, he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to show up. I have a lot going on at the office. And then comes in, fashionably late, as always. Here he is. And here's the reality, folks. This is the reality. It's not that he comes in fashionably late. He has to make an entrance. That's the reality of all this, okay? Go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead. Defend yourself.
Mine? Okay, I'm doing this now then. If the floor is mine, I am doing this. Hold on a second. Here's my show. This is how my day feels like.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, doctor, take this. No, Glenn, you take this.
They move just like that, too, don't they?
Hey.
Hey, listen, if you can't have any fun, it's Friday night. Come on, for Pete's sake.
Oh.
Well, before people start going, Glenn, are we going to watch this clip the whole show?
Okay.
It is great to have you here.
Real quick. Glenn,
30
coming
seconds.
fashionably late is equal to like The Undertaker or Triple H showing up to a wrestling match.
He don't know
It
who
was
the
epic.
he don't know
What's
who
wrestling?
those guys are. The extent of
Picard,
wrestling
Kirk?
for him is that he's in Retromania and he's in the stands. That's all he knows. He doesn't know
That's it.
anything else.
And I can't get to myself. I haven't seen myself in the game yet. I can't get that far in the game. I've never seen myself.
We've got Wild Bill with us here. He is in the house. Well, subdued Bill tonight.
That's right.
We've got Jade, and she's got a lot of stuff she's going to talk to us about. She's had a rough day.
You know what? I'm finding she's Steven 2.0. Because Steven 1.0 finds game deals, PlayStation 12 for like 50 cents. Jade is like right there.
Oh yeah.
So
she's been kicking butt today, and gotten some really cool deals. We're gonna get to a little bit of that today, but we got a lot to talk about. So let's kind of dive into this really quick. We got some iiRcade stuff that we want to talk about.
iiRcade. News and notes.
iiRcade. So Glenn, you made the statement last week. You said there was a brand new game that came out, Space Invaders Infinity Gene, and we didn't get a chance to really, really talk about it. And so I figured, if it's cool with everybody, we would kind of talk about this. Maybe inappropriate for children. I'm just saying. So
close your eyes, Bill.
I was just gonna say, Bill.
That's today's world.
You can't.
Even vector graphics can be inappropriate.
So with this, okay. What do you guys think? Like I started playing it this week, and then some of you guys didn't play, but you watched it. I was actually loving it. This is kind of what I've been waiting for iiRcade, like the new stuff. Like I could care less about the retro stuff to an extent on the iiRcade. But this is gold. Am I the only one who thinks that?
No, everyone who's pretty much played this game, it's one of those little sleeper hits. Like I'll pick it up. It's a couple bucks, pick it up, and then they all really enjoy it. Kind of like Dodo. People are like it looks like a Donkey Kong ripoff. When you start playing it, it's really a really fun game. And it is a Donkey Kong clone, but this is a good game as well. And that's what iiRcade needs. They need some games that are just ones that are just fun to play. Sit down, for 10 minutes and just beat out some invaders.
Bill,
It kind of reminds me of Rez.
res?
Oh, it does.
Oh yeah,
You're
I
right.
guess I could see that.
Yeah, that's why it's appealing also to me.
What do you guys think about it? Bill, did you actually buy it? Did you mess around with it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Still waiting on my iiRcade. It's going to be a little while. So I'm going to
that's
be
right.
in that last. I'm going to be in that last batch of ones to get it because I ordered it a little bit later. But this one's definitely on my radar. I love the retro stuff. That's the stuff I'm looking most forward to playing once I get mine. But this, I don't mind a modern game that has a retro flair to it, which this does.
Yeah.
And it just looks like so much fun.
Big Papa Brad, he says the same thing. He says, "Hey, modern retro games are my favorite." Though I would agree with that. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but I got to World 1-6. I played it first time through, just played it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really, it's a new twist on Space Invaders." So we're gonna get to it a little bit. We brought Jade over to the dark side. Okay, we're gonna get into that later.
Didn't take too much though.
No.
It really didn't take too much.
But there was also another game. Bill, why don't you talk a little bit about this that was released also today that I seen some folks in the chat room, they were kind of mad that it wasn't the original.
Yeah, so this is Lode Runner Legacy, which again is a modern retro game. It's a modern take on a classic game, Lode Runner. And I don't know why people would be upset. First off, they have the original already, don't they? On there? They have like the first four Lode Runner games on there. And this actually has, I think, the original 150 levels from the first game in it. You can play the original game in this one. So, I mean, this just looks like a ton of fun. The only thing I will say, I have one bone to pick with this game.
Uh-oh.
And no, seriously. And I don't blame iiRcade for this because I know they don't always set that. I know a lot of times the pricing has to do with, the publisher. They set what the price is going to be when they put this out. This game is available on Steam, and it's the same price. It's $11.99, although it's on sale now for $5.99. Forget the sale part. On PC, it actually has a level builder in it. You can make your own levels. You can make your own characters. This game doesn't have that. Now, I know there's reasons why it doesn't. Michael, I had asked on the YouTube channel, and somebody asked on Facebook, and Michael replied, and he actually tagged me in it too, that, there's server requirements that they don't have, that maybe one day it'll happen, but for now, they can't do it. But my bone to pick is, why is it the same price?
I don't know.
If it's missing a component. That's my only, and again, I'm not trying to sound shillish or whatever. I don't blame iiRcade. The prices are, I know, a lot of times set by the publisher.
You shill of a gun.
I know, but I don't. That's, if I could say one downside to this, is I don't know why it's the same price when it's technically missing a piece of the game.
So P-Dub's in the chat room. I'll see if I can pull this up here. He said the classic game is in. He said the classic game is included with the legacy version, and you have to unlock through the adventure mode. Mm-hmm. So you do have that in there.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how they gauge their pricing structure with that. But I think it's interesting. I think I might pick it up. We'll see. But I'll tell you, I sent this to She-Lion earlier today, and I want to preface this. This is going out to Rainwater. The reason I'm going to play this video, I wasn't going to play it with audio because I was pretty ticked off earlier. So I just want to preface this, guys. I was pretty ticked off earlier, and this is going to come across ticked off. But everybody's always like, iiRcade is so superior when it comes to build quality. They all have their positives and their negatives. So I just want to get that out of the way. Take a look at this.
All right, so I want to show everybody in the inside of this. This is my iiRcade, the first generation, and this has got to be the poorest design I've seen. And I never looked in here, when I stuck the feet on it, but I'm gonna have to take these feet off because these T-nuts are just held in by screws, and you can see, like that one, the screws popping the T-nut out, which then makes the cabinet sit uneven. And no matter how many times I fix it, you can see that one popped right out. Poor design. Should be like a cam lock system where it's pressure mounted with a nut or something to hold it in there, because this is ridiculous. So I'm just going to pull the feet out and put it in there. But for all the guys out there, iiRcade's got the best build quality. Guys.
So Glenn was just saying, and that's what you guys kind of came in on. He was just like, that's an easy fix. It is. But when you're buying a $1,000 arcade, now this one wasn't, this was the original, you shouldn't be having to do simple things like that. That is a design flaw.
Actually, if that's the worst that happens on a cabinet like that, you're lucky. Because there's other cabinets that have much larger issues. But you're right. When your money's spent like that, simple design thing. But you know what? I bet you and everyone they sell after yours, Steven, they'll fix it.
Well, so that's the point. Look, the whole premise of this show and us is to call everything straight down the middle. And that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling it straight down the middle. So if you have one of these, glue those dang T-nuts in, because I've tried hammering them in, and all it does is chew it up.
I mean, you caused it. You did it.
Listen, I was playing hardcore, okay? I was pretending like I was playing you in a fighting game, like you had that thing earlier on.
I'm just glad I wasn't the only one pissed off today. I'm glad I had a friend in the pissed off business today. So
I think it was just one of those days. She Lion, while we're talking about Jade, while we were talking about iiRcade, you went to the dark side. What's sitting behind you?
What is? I think.
Oh, do you have it?
Oh my God! It's a Shinku Hadouken.
No, not that one.
iiRcade.
We'll get to that later. The other one. What's the other one?
Wait, what? The iiRcade?
Yeah.
It's a double dragon.
She's come to the dark side.
That's a nice
Double dragon
really,
iiRcade.
That's a really nice looking cabinet. I mean, I like Dragon's Lair. I was never a huge fan of Double Dragon, but the artwork on there looks really nice. I mean, it looks really nice. So, how does yours look?
Well, so this is a special edition, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it.
Wait, Jade, I could pull it up if you'd like.
Well, you can do that too, but I want to take the time to turn it, Steven.
Okay.
And show everybody.
There you go. You can turn it. They'll tell the story about it.
So I get home and I put this together, and I'm going, man, this looks so sweet. And then I come over to the side and I'm looking at it and I go, man, that looks so weird. And I start examining it, and then I'm like, why aren't the flames matching up? Why would they design it this way? That's so stupid. And then I realize that these panels are on the wrong sides, or the stickers are on the wrong sides. So, but then fortunately, Glenn was smart enough to tell me that I could actually just take the panels off and change sides.
Some people may actually try and peel the decals off. I would recommend trying to just flip the sides first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that recommendation.
Because we know Jade can get off decals. We've seen her do it.
Yes, she'll get the Dremel out.
Donkey Kong did it.
So
that does not mean I like doing that.
So let's preface. Okay, so I see a lot of comments here. We're just going to get this out of the way, so hopefully we don't have to answer this question again. So there's a lot of shows out there where guys are wearing sunglasses just to wear sunglasses. Jade was in the military, and she had an injury to her optic nerve. And the glasses she's wearing are prescription. They're tinted. When she's in bright lights, she gets migraines. Last week, she got a migraine after the show. She's like, I'm never doing that again. So please don't bring up any more comments about the sunglasses, because they're there to stay.
But instead, thank a person in the military for, allowing you to make comments, but try not to.
Mm-hmm. But we will be shilling them. We're going to make the exact same replicas that you can wear on your own YouTube channel, so you can be just like Jade. What do you think of that?
We're setting trends here, guys.
Everybody wants a pair of them. That's what I think.
We're also going to make pairs of sunglasses that you can put on your Arcade 1-Up or your iiRcade. So I'm just throwing that out there. We're going to speculate later.
So how do you say this? Piskins run. He goes, well, at least you didn't Loctite or wood glue anything. You did check them. That's a great That's a great comment.
Yeah.
The guy that you bought it from, he didn't Loctite it or glue the panels.
I mean, I'm just by looking at it, I'm thinking that he probably wasn't that thorough of a person.
Okay.
So
That wasn't really
might
right,
be.
but okay.
No, that so we'll be
Oh.
interested in hearing your take on that, because you were very against the I shouldn't say, you just had no need for it in the beginning. You weren't
Well, the
really
exact words were there was like nothing on the system that really
Right.
drew her or to it.
Right.
so, but you wanted the Sega stuff that's on it. And I know you've been dying to play Beach Buggy. I've been telling you about Beach Buggy. I know you tried to play it in your car
It's
and
a
it
fun
didn't work
game.
as
Oh
good.
my
You
gosh.
really want to play it on there. And there's
So
two
fun.
versions.
Yeah. But I think that I always thought the Double Dragon one was cool, and I like the way the Gen 1s look. And so I was kind of like, if I could find, I didn't realize there were so many Sega games on it. And that was like one of the really appealing things to me. And then obviously Double Dragon. And I was like, if I could find a Gen 1 Double Dragon, this would be, I would get it if it was for the right price. And lo and behold,
Boom! A
I
double
go on,
boom.
yeah, lo and behold, I go on OfferUp, and there it is, just one single iiRcade listed within the farthest point of my radius for well, it was 400, and I said I'll give you 350, and he was like, I'm throwing this thing in the dumpster if you don't. So
Really? Wow.
No. But he actually was like, I just don't play this. He's like,
Wow.
I'm like, oh really? I'm like, I want all the Sega games on it. He's like, yeah, see, I never played Sega games. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's funny because I did play a lot of Sega games in the arcade, and they have a lot of good Sega games on it. And they have there's a couple other ones, and then like, 3 of the non-arcade games like Space Invaders and stuff like that.
That escalated quick that he just wanted to throw it out. My goodness.
Now that guy actually responded to you. Did that other guy even trying to hit up for a machine ever get back to you? Still?
For the HS5.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, he did. He did respond to me, but he said that it's actually really a ridiculous story. He lives out here, but he works in Utah, and he's like, I don't want to drive all the way back out there to sell it. He's like, but I've got a list of people who want to buy it, and he's like, so I'm going to hit them up accordingly. But he's like a verified user with like a lot of feedback. So I think he's a legit person. He's just kind of strange.
Eccentric? Is that the word they use?
Yeah.
There you go. There you
Sure.
go.
I'll be PC.
So we'll hopefully see some updates on Twitter. If you're not following Jade on her YouTube channel and her Twitter, make sure you do that, because I'm sure later on after we get off the show, she's going to fix that panel and post a pretty picture of that up on her social channels to show you that it's fixed. And I'm sure there's some gameplay coming. But Mr. Wild Bill put this together for you guys, a nice gaming tip segment. I think it's pretty cool. I got to watch it earlier this week. Take a look at this.
So how many of you remember this little gem? Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. That's right. This is the infamous Konami code that was used in so many old school games like Contra and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But the first game to ever actually use this code was 1986's Gradius for the NES. And if you paused the game and entered the code, you would be given a bunch of power-ups that you could use right from the start. So a lot of people remember this code, obviously, from the NES and the Super NES games. But did you know how many games actually really use this code? Well, to find the answer to that question, I headed over to Wikipedia and did a search for Konami code. And this is what I got. So this page on Wikipedia will tell you everything you need to know about the infamous Konami code, including giving you a little history of it, which is how I learned that Gradius was the first game to use this code. So one of the things I didn't realize when I was researching this was, again, like I said, how many games actually use this code, including some fairly recent games. I mean, I remember this, obviously, from back in the days of the NES and even into the Super NES, but I didn't think too many games beyond that actually utilize this code. But what's cool about Wikipedia is they show you all the games that use it broken down by series, and they even give you some of the variations on the code depending on the system you were playing it on. So if you look here at the Gradius games, you see that the NES Gradius, again, was the first in that line to use the code, and it goes all the way through Gradius Rebirth on the Wii. Scrolling down a little to the Contra series, we have the original Contra and Super C for NES, and going all the way up to Hardcore Uprising on the PlayStation 3 and Super Contra on Xbox Live Arcade. This is the one that surprised me the most in the Castlevania series, was that Castlevania Requiem, a PlayStation 4 game, actually has the code where when you input the code you get a mini game, Peak, which was originally in Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Then of course you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, you have Dance Dance Revolution, the Metal Gear series, again all the way up to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance use the code, and then a list of other games ranging from Batman Returns on the Super NES through Zone of the Enders, the second run. And again, you've got some pretty recent games on here. Reflect Beat for the iOS. You got Rocket Knight from PS3. And then this one really surprised me, was that there were games beyond Konami games that actually used the code, including Crash Bandicoot Warped and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which again is a pretty recent game. You've got Dead by Daylight using the code. Now, I mean, obviously some of these using the code are just give you some little Easter eggs and don't really do much for the game, but it is kind of interesting to see how many games actually have the code put in them, including Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, which just came out recently, where using the code will give you a big head mode in the game. So really, I just wanted to take a few minutes and shine the spotlight on an old code that I know many of you are so very, very familiar with, but I bet a lot of you just didn't know how many games, including recent games, actually use this code. There may be games you're playing right now that you had no idea you could use this code in and what it would do. Or maybe you're revisiting some old classics that you forgot used the code. So my advice to you is head on over to Wikipedia, look up Konami code, and check out the games that they have there. You might be surprised that a game that you love, that you've been playing recently, has the ability to use that code. Enjoy! Alright, and there you have it. So yeah, when I was researching this, I was really surprised how many games actually use this code, including a lot of newer games. Now, I know I saw a lot of people in the chat were talking about, select start and whatever. Not all of them use that. Like, if you go back to Gradius, the very first game that used it, it was just the up, down, left, right, BA. That was it. It was in later games when they started added, like, select start or start select. And if you go through the whole thing on Wikipedia, you'll see the different codes for if you're on PlayStation or Xbox or Switch or whatever, how they're a little different. So just wanted to address that real quick. I know that, so like I said, some of the games did use select start or start select depending on the game, but the main OG code was just that up, down, left, right, BA.
And Glenn wouldn't know anything about any of the modern consoles doing that because he still has them in a bag, in a box, somewhere.
The newest system I have is a 360. And that was just for Halo and Gears. That's all I ever did with that.
Interesting.
I've only got PS2. I have no games for it. Although I do have Sly Cooper, which is actually a really fun game.
That is a fun game.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we are going to, believe it or not, we haven't talked about @games at all the last couple of weeks, but National Owners Day is coming up. We're going to talk to you a little bit about that, and there's something that I'm really excited for. So hang tight. We're going to check this out really quick.
@games news and notes.
All right, so National Owners Day is going to be coming up, guys, and I know there's been videos out on some of this stuff, but I really wanted to talk to the whole panel here about what exactly was going to be coming out here for National Owners Day and kind of get everybody's thoughts on it. There's something that they're doing very different that I thought was interesting was these natural history pinball tables. Now, at first when I was kind of like, what is this? Like there's Dinosaur Dynasty and Last Ice Age and a few other ones like Amazonian. These actually look really good. Like I'm really excited for that. And I actually have some footage I can show here in a little bit that we can talk over. But Dr. Seuss, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. These are going to be coming out at Christmas time, and this is what I wanted to bring everybody's attention to here. Besides the Pinball Micro, you can get all that, some of these other game packs that you can get. And I'm sorry, At Games, I am using the PDF here because it was just the easiest thing to do in a short amount of time. I want everybody to pay attention to Hero Deal 1. Now, everybody goes, oh, great, ArcadeNet. But here's the deal, right? So for $100, this is why I think this is a really good deal on this. For $100, you get a whole year of ArcadeNet, and you're like, big whoop, okay? But you get a year of premium warranty. So no, some of you guys know, we've seen things happen with At Games products from time to time. A board goes out or something like that, and you only get 30 days to where you can return it. So you get that. But here's the cool part: what they're doing, which I thought was really cool to the community, was that they're giving the 3 tables. If you get this Hero Deal 1, they're giving the 3 tables of the Dr. Seuss at Christmas time to you as a gift, which is a pretty good value when you really break it down. The warranty on the Hero Deal 1, Glenn, is like the cat's meow on this, because warranties are important in my opinion, right?
Well, it is, and N.O.D. Day, they usually give really good deals on it. So I kind of agree with you there that for the price, it's not a bad deal with those tables in there.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've had one problem with my board once in the Legends Ultimate where it went bad and had to get that replaced. But again, warranty is always a good thing to have, peace of mind. Like with cars, never had it before. I buy them now. It's too many gizmos.
Oh, yeah.
One of those gizmos goes, it's talking thousands of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for the price, again, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of ArcadeNet. I know they're working on, bringing more and more stuff to ArcadeNet. So it's one of those things you just got to be patient with them on it. I'm hoping that there's going to be more with it as time goes on. But we're not going to break this down. Like I said, there's a lot of videos out there that you guys can see. The different deals. But that was one I really wanted to draw attention to. I thought that was a really good thing. And the other thing that I thought was really cool with this, guys, is before, like, you had your Zakaria packs where you could buy all the tables for, like, whatever it is, $50 or whatever. But now they're doing something different where you can get into, like, packs. Like, let's say you only want, like, 2 tables. I think that's how they're doing it. You can save a little bit of money and just buy the some of the tables, not like 10 of them if there is, or 5 of them. So I think that's something that might be interesting to some people if you want something like that. But they've got a lot of different deals that are going to be happening with some of Glenn's favorite stuff. I was actually looking at the Activision because I like Pitfall. Glenn, that's the old Coleco and Intellivision.
Okay, the Pitfall started on the 2600.
I know, but it's a good. It wasn't as good though on the 2600 though.
It was the best on the 2600, Steven.
I liked it better on the Intellivision. Come on.
No, the controller sucked. How'd you play
okay, I'll give you that. It did suck. But either way, guys, like you can get in. Like if you didn't get the Taito games, $15 is what some of the Taito tables are. Normally $25.
Yeah, they're very good deals. If you were on the fence before, I mean. National Owners Day, they give really, really good deals. So, if you were on the fence, this is the time to get them. So I think Jay, do you have a Legends Ultimate or anything like that? Do you have anything in your?
No, I don't have a Legends Ultimate.
Okay, so she'll buy that tomorrow, and then she'll make it time for National Owners Day. So she's okay.
She wants the. What did you say? You wanted the Legends Ultimate, right? But they're like $1,000.
I was thinking about it, but yeah, I think that they're like. I wouldn't want to spend that much money on one of those.
Yeah, I think when we got them, I think they were what, $4.99, $5.99. 4.99.
I think they were $5.99 at the time. It was at Costco or Sam's?
Sam's Club.
It was Sam's.
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
I would stick a PC in there anyways. So.
Well, that's a good thing. But that's the good thing with the Legends, because you can keep the original board in there. It's got HDMI inputs on it, and you just switch over and use Bluetooth, and you can do that. But then you can switch it back to the At Games machine. So that's what's really good about that. It's got a really nice display in there. The controls are decent too. It's really not a bad unit. The only problem I really had with mine, which is all the Chrome T molding just fell off. That's probably the worst.
I had that problem too.
that
Not gonna lie. I put tape. I put neon tape online. I'm playing now. They recorded it. It's kind of weird, but you can kind of see some of these tables here as we're talking about this. I really like these. These are more like the way I attribute them, kind of like Pinball FX style tables. They're not like your just normal flat ones, and these are not made after any table that's out there. But my kids love these, so we have a lot of fun with these different tables, and I'm not going to bore you guys and play long periods of time with this here. But the different tables. This one is the dinosaur. I forget what it's called. The dinosaur something.
On the floor, come and walking like dinosaur. I don't know the song. It was something like that.
But it looks. I think it looks pretty good.
It does look cool, actually.
They did a really good job.
That's the good thing with a virtual pinball. I mean, real pinball is nice, but they break. The virtual pinball, you can kind of do anything you want. I mean, I used to like playing like Devil's Crush on the TurboGrafx 16 pinball, but they have all these cool effects that you can do. So I like the cloud effect down there right now. The cloud that was going over the top. It's just neat things you can do in a virtual environment.
These here are, I'm really excited for these tables. Like, it's been a while that I've been really excited for, like, tables. I've been really excited even for the Dr. Seuss ones. My kids were like, really? They're going to do, like, The Grinch Just Stole Christmas? And I know it's not for everybody, but my kids play the Legends pinball a lot, so they're really excited about this. So these tables are coming. They look really good. I'm with Glenn on this one. Jade, you need some pinball in your arcade. You have too many just arcades. You need some pinball now.
It's beginning to look a lot like Shoalness.
You do. You gotta get some.
I really do though. I need a pinball machine, and I was really thinking about an At Games pinball machine versus the arcade one up, just because they look like they would just be more fun to play, to be honest.
Well, you can hook a PC up to this one, so you'll be happy.
Steven, do you still have your Toy Shock?
No, I got rid of my Toy Shock when I got the
Did
Marvel.
Did the board ever show up like 10 weeks after you sold it?
What's that?
Did the new board finally show up after you sold it?
So I got 3 different revisions of the board. Okay, the third one still had some latency. I don't know if P-Dubs agrees with me on that one, but I feel like there wasn't really much difference between board number 2 and board number 3. Supposedly, the January 2022 versions of the Toy Shock were shipping with board number 3 in it, but honestly, I didn't think there was really much difference in it. I still have board number 2 in my bin. If you want it, Glenn, I'll send it to you. If you want to play around with it, light it on fire or something. I don't care. I don't really.
Put it in a bag first and then ship it to him.
Well, it has to go in a bag.
Gets here. It's okay. My face is now on like 4 stores. If this guy comes in, checking for bags.
So, but yeah. So I'm really curious. What do you guys think? Do you think that these are tables that you're going to pick up? I like the flexibility that I can keep adding tables because I just did open room. Oh, and that's another discussion we could have at a later time. But I can now fit 10 more cabinets down here. I did some wheeling and dealing.
Really?
So yeah, I did some. If you follow my YouTube shorts, go watch my YouTube shorts and you'll see. But
I don't want to see you in shorts.
no, not those.
Oh,
So we did a make or break this week, and I'm really curious to see what Glenn thinks about this. And if he doesn't like it, or you guys don't like it, it's all Jade's fault because she told me to do it.
Make or break.
Oh, hey guys, it's time for another make or break, and today's make or break is a little bit different. It's about a console. Did it make or break it for the company? I'm going to get back to playing it. let me know in the chat room after you see this clip.
Some of you believe your system is the most advanced in the universe. Let's review the numbers. Sega Genesis is 16 bits. 3DO is 32 bits. The Atari Jaguar is 64 bits. Which is more advanced? Clifford! With 64 bits, 3D graphics, real-world animation, and lightning speed that you can only get with Jaguar, which is more advanced? Clifford!
Can you repeat the question?
Jaguar! Jaguar! Jaguar!
Games. Right now, I have about 4 or 5 games for the Jaguar, and of course, Glenn walked away. So the guys are asking in the chat room to, 10 more cabinets. That's a good space management. So the room that you guys saw me in while we're waiting for Glenn, because I really want to get his opinion on this. I moved. I have an electric drum set. I play drums, and my wife plays keyboard. So I moved them up into the playroom, which doesn't really get used. So I then freed up a wall that I could put 10 cabinets up against it. Plus, I have room in here for 2 more cabinets in this room. So, not saying I would do that because I know I have to get the MVSX yet.
Yeah,
But
hurry up on that.
I have a list of things to get. So the Jaguar,
More together.
did it make or break Atari, Glenn?
Oh,
Oh, look at this guy! Look at
that
this
game
guy!
drive?
oh my God.
No, actually, this is it's a skunk board.
Oh, skunk, yeah. Is it a skunk too?
It smells good. So this is my Jaguar number 2. My Jaguar 1 with the CD toilet is upstairs. I didn't get that in time.
Is it in the box?
But did this break Atari? Monetarily wise, Atari was in worse shape long before the Jaguar came out. So I'm actually going to say no. The Jaguar actually, if you look at it, and I'm serious about this. Look at Doom, Castle Wolfenstein, Alien vs. Predator, Tempest 2000, just to name a couple. Iron Soldier came out in this. Fantastic
But how
games.
many units were sold in comparison with the systems that were available at that time?
So like I was saying, Alien vs. Predator, 2000. Good games on here. Very good games. But the real problem, there was a couple of issues with the Jaguar. When this came out, it was all about the bits. You had your 8-bit, you had your 16-bit, you had 32-bit, and they were claiming 64-bit. And that became a big issue for the Jaguar because they're looking at the games. It doesn't look like a 64-bit. It looks like 16-bit at best. The problem was they incorporated a 68,000 processor in here. Apple Macintosh, Atari ST, Amiga all ran on the 68,000. That wasn't supposed to be what you used on here. You have the Tom and Jerry chips. You're supposed to code to them, and the 68,000 was just like a cop, reading joysticks and things along those lines. But Atari didn't have the best development kit for it, so most developers didn't want to spend the time to really program it. So what can you do? Oh, it's a 68,000 in there. We could port our crappy, normal games right to the Jaguar, and we could sell them. And that was the problem. And what we all know, we talked about this on the show a million times. The most powerful hardware doesn't necessarily win. In fact, it almost never. I don't think it ever actually has won. Usually, in each generation, the weaker hardware is the one that wins the war. The Jaguar had a lot of potential, but no one really knew how to program this bad boy. So, did it break Atari? No. Atari was in bad shape long before the Jaguar hit. They really had no real way to market it. They had no real way to help software developers make the games the way they should have been made. The Jaguar here, the technology behind it is from Flare. And Flare was engineers from, oh my God, very popular computer in Europe. I can't think of it. Sinclair. It's the Sinclair. So the chipset is very powerful. And they were actually working on an even more powerful chipset. But once again, Atari was rushing them. They didn't give them time to do proper testing. There was a couple of bugs in the TOM chip, which caused graphics problems. In Castle Wolfenstein, you look at it, it's much better resolution. Doom would have been the same way, because Camrec programmed it himself, but there were some bugs he had to work around because Atari rushed them to get the chip out as quick as possible. So my answer is no. The long story answer is no.
Well, I'm with you on this because I just got my Jaguar about 6 months ago, and I got a really good deal on it. That's why Glenn makes fun of me all the time, box and all. We know that Atari was hurting a long time before that. I mean, E.T. did him in, so that was the end of that. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm going to get fried here. Bill, was it a make or break? for you.
I don't know. What was that system? I think I blocked it out of my memory.
Remember, Bill, you're close to me, buddy. You're in driving distance to me. I could be there half an hour.
No.
You know what? Look. Truth is, I do agree. I think Atari was in a lot more trouble before this came along. This was their Hail Mary to try to compete with all the up and comers. You had Saturn and coming out. You had PlayStation coming out around that same time, and they just couldn't compete with it. It didn't look like the other systems. It didn't. So I'm not gonna say it was a break. I like I said, I think
come on,
same thing. I think they
make or break. You got to give us something here. Come on.
All right, if I have to choose between the two, I got to go.
You have to choose. Oh, okay.
If
so
I have
he said
to choose
break.
between the two, I got to go break.
All right.
Okay, your legs are next. I'll be over in a few minutes.
Jade, make or break.
Okay, so first of all, I have a Jaguar that I've had since 1995 or 6, I think.
Nice.
And there's a game drive in it, and I have a handful of games. I used to have a lot more, but anyways, so I have one upstairs. However, I don't think that the Atari Jaguar broke Atari, because we've all already discussed that, and Glenn was very clear about why. However, I do think it could have saved Atari.
I agree. I think
that was the hope.
I think Sega ran into the same thing with the Dreamcast, but that's something we can get into on another day.
That's a great analogy, Stephen. Right there, because we would never say the Dreamcast killed Sega. No one would ever say that, but that was a great analogy.
I think, and obviously we do these make or breaks because we want we want everybody to kind of put it out here to give your thoughts, because a lot of people, just like Bill, he thought it was a break, and that's fine. That's his opinion on it. Sega Dreamcast, I was fully invested. I pre-ordered that game, that system. We can get into this again at another time, but it was before its time. Nobody knew what to do with the Sega Dreamcast, and that's why it failed. Everybody was just like, it's complicated. So I have my own thoughts with that, but we want to get
nobody knew what to do with it.
No.
Says the people like me who have like 200 CDRs.
No, we knew what to do with it, but there was the consumers didn't know what to do with it. They thought, like, why would anybody want this? Why does people want CD games, and why do they want these little like gigapet VMUs that you can have? Nobody understood that.
There was
we're just
so much cool tech in that. It was
awesome.
At launch, it was $199 at launch. You had a modem built in. You had the VMU, the controller. It was amazing.
It was really good. So
and again, I will say it again today. You put a Dreamcast game in, you play it right now. Put a PlayStation 1 game on, or anything of that generation. The Dreamcast still looks great.
Yeah. Well, I think it almost blows away some of the PlayStation stuff.
The football game was it? FN.
And the VGA input.
Yep.
It had VGA input.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah, I'm running mine at 1080p right now.
So
I have a scaler on it and everything like that. But we're gonna get into Jade's got some stuff that she wants to talk about with her newest acquisition from Arcade 1-Up. She sold some Arcade 1-Ups, but she also picked up something from Arcade 1-Up. Stay with us.
Arcade 1-Up. News and notes.
Hi, I'm Jade Sheeline, and you may remember me from such videos as, let's get this Donkey Kong cab restored, or, is that a big blue? Let's make it like new. So come with me on a magical journey.
The prophecy didn't say anything about this.
Prophets don't know everything.
What was that?
I thought I was riding on one of those things. Sorry, guys. I just get so excited every time I see a clip from the Dark Crystal. Let me apologize for whatever you just watched, and then move forward with the important details of today. So obviously we already talked about the iiRcade, which I was very excited about. Good deal, fun find, and I get to play a handful of games that I'm excited to play. With my arcade 1-ups, I actually sold my T2 and my Big Blue, but not my modded Big Blue because that's like my baby blue. So don't worry, I still have my Marvel vs. Capcom Big Blue. It's okay, everyone. I got rid of those two, and I basically turned around and got the iiRcade. And then also today, after my package has been delayed for 3 days, my Shinku Hadouken. Here it is, guys. I'm gonna.
She's been dying to put this together.
Can we?
Yep, you're
I'm
good.
I'm ready to go.
It's thinner than I thought it would be.
Right?
It's only 1D.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more three-dimensional, you know.
So would you consider that 1D? Where is it, Glenn? Come on, hit it. Hit the button. You missed it.
That's
Thank
for me.
you.
That's for me.
So that's my new acquisition, and I'm excited to put up a review video for it because I've been waiting for it for a long time, and even if it sucks, I'm still probably going to like it. So I basically am only going to have one Street Fighter 2 arcade 1-up cab because I sold my Big Blue, and I'm selling my Legacy cab to keep this one. And that was then, and I have these to show you guys. So because I knew I was getting this cab, I ordered cherry switches and Sanwa convex. It's convex, right? Buttons. And then I got some Sanwa joysticks for it.
Nice.
But I want you guys to know that in my review, when I do my review, I'm going to do it with the controls that come with it so that everybody can see what it comes with. And then I'll do a separate video later that talks about swapping it out with the better controls. Also, you guys, this is the first arcade 1-up, and I have to commend them on this. This is actually really cool that they did this. It's not a big thing, but it is cool. This came in the packaging with the arcade 1-up control deck, and they actually give you the option of octagonal gates if you so wish. I don't think I'm going to use them myself, but I just thought it was a really cool gesture considering the fact that a lot of us talk about them needing to work on their control decks and whatnot.
Nice. So I'm going to be interested to see what you think about that. Guys in the chat room here, I'm going to shill for a little bit since that seems to be the word that's going around. I'm going to shill here, and I'm going to shill hard, okay?
Oh, my
no,
Lord.
actually, the reality is I want to show – listen, I want to show you guys something that I had been reviewing gaming headsets because one of the headsets – I have the PlayStation 5 headset that I use for my PlayStation 5. But the problem was it doesn't work with other consoles without going through a big hoopla, and I was like, whatever. So this company reached out to me. They're called EXA. And they asked if I wanted to review one of the headsets. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a go. It's probably horrible. It was actually really good. Then they reached out to me and go, hey, we have a link that you can use for your viewers that are $50 headsets you can get for $13.99 and $12.99. There's actually two headsets, yes. And I'm going to share that with you guys. I get nothing out of the deal here. I'm not even making anything on it. All I want to do is give you guys this link. The way I look at it is they did send me both, and I'm going to disclaim this. They did send me both these headsets that I'm showing you. So the way I look at it is if you guys buy a couple of these headsets, and they are good headsets, but even if they weren't for $12.99, I mean, how could you go wrong? You buy them for your kids. $50 headsets for $13. I'm going to put the link in there in the chat room, and then you guys can, if you decide that you want to get a gaming headset, you can. If not, it's totally cool. If they're able to, get some sales on it because I showed it on the show here, great. Glenn, that should be the next thing that you make is headsets. Just saying.
I can't even, Steven, I can't even beat that price.
I know it's
Tell me
it's
more.
really not it's really not a bad price. It's like $12.99, $13.99. Like, even if they didn't give it to me, I would have bought it, right? For that price, you just can't. I think Bill, you said you picked up a set too, right?
I bought both of them.
He bought both. What do you need 2 sets for?
Well, because one is Bluetooth and the other is wired. One I can
that's
use
true.
like, with my
For
phone
music,
or
yeah.
something, and the other one I could use for the computer or swap it around for my Switch.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted for mowing
But
the grass.
can you make julienne fries with them?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't.
The bigger question is, do they blend?
One. I just haven't done it yet.
Either way, guys, I wanted, it was a way that I wanted to try to get you guys a really good price on it. So when they reached out and said, "Hey, would you be willing to share this with your community?" I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want cheap headsets? That are good."
And on the next episode of Game Time, we're all going to be wearing ours, so you guys better too.
So
no, but seriously, I'm buying one. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, especially with the Switch. I have another version of their headset. I have an unboxing of it if you want to check it out on my YouTube channel. They're not as cheap as these. So, but to be fair though, I have let me just show. I have this one here, and then I have the other one. The other one. So this one has Mega Bass, and we're gonna try it out and see how.
It's all about the bass, not the treble.
We'll see how it is when I'm mowing the grass and whatnot. I have another pair of Bluetooth headsets that are really good, so I'm going to compare them to that. But again, I just thought I'd throw it out to them. You guys on Facebook, I will put the link here in just a second. Before we wrap up, because we're going to have to...
Wait, I didn't get to talk about my last find.
I know, that's what I'm going over to you right now. So tell them about your last find.
So my last find was actually given to me, and I'm super excited about it because it's going to be like a huge project, like very N.O.D.-esque, but it was basically a big extension bar top arcade, and it has like a TV in it and an iiRcade in it. So be watching out for that because I'm going to be doing some fun stuff with that. But anyways, it was given to me by a friend, very nice of them, so I'm excited.
If the guy actually lets you come look at it, right?
If he let me look at it
to pick it up, isn't this the same guy that's been giving you the runaround to go to get, or is this
a
different one?
No, I'm talking about the barcade that I got.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got him confused.
Yeah. Oh, you want to bring the HS5?
Yeah, bring it up.
I've been trying to get an HS5 Dynamo cab with Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter in it, fully functional, good CRT, and unfortunately, I have just been getting the runaround from this guy for since June 12th, so over a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still trying. I'm still chipping away, and it seems like I might be getting somewhere. He is verified, and he does have a lot of feedback history, so I have hope.
Well, keep us posted on that. I'm kind of interested. So, but we're gonna wrap it up. But I know, Glenn, you also. Let's start with you because I know you want to bring up with your stuff that you've got. You got a ton of stuff going on, so go for it.
Well, first of all, tomorrow I'm going to be at the Hartford Retro World Expo with all these cool fellow YouTubers and Daniel Pacina. He'll probably say, "Who are you, Glenn?"
Wait, isn't Bill going with you?
I was going to ask Bill, are you going tomorrow or no?
Wait, there's a convention tomorrow? You didn't mention that. Yes, I'm going. I will be there tomorrow too.
Well, if you want, we should meet up and just go together. Maybe we'll talk a little bit after this. You can have my car can drive us there. You know, we just sit back and like chill, like so.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay. So I'll be there tomorrow at the Retro World Game Expo. I was there last year. It was awesome. It was really awesome. And of course, we do have the pre-order for the little Build-A-Cade, which I still have going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here.
And how long's the pre-order going for that?
We're gonna be cool about it. We're gonna do the pre-order right up until we're ready to start shipping them. So we're shooting for November to start shipping these guys out. And remember, we have an IPS screen in here. We have interchangeable control panels, trackball, Hall effect spinner. No one else has got one of those out there. Dual joysticks. And comes with everything in the kit. Just got to add a Raspberry Pi 3 or 3A, 3B, or Pi 4. Build it yourself. You get yourself a nice little machine right here. And it's a perfect size to go with your New Wave toys, if you like those. So we'll start small, hint, and work our way bigger. Perhaps.
and a certain magazine.
Oh, yes. And thanks, Stephen. So
you're welcome.
Old School Gamer Magazine. They have a Kickstarter going on right now. And they're getting pretty close to the goal, but they're not there yet. And it's a great magazine. It's a kind of like a lost art. You got one right there. And you can get it totally free if you want. You could just go to oldschoolgamer.com and you could sign up and get a completely free magazine. It's got like 60% of the pages in there, but completely free. But if you do sign up, you can get a full digital copy of the entire magazine, or a little bit more than that, an actual paper copy, which Steven showed you there. And, it's one of those things where it's nice having an electronic copy. Sure, that's great. There's nothing like turning the pages. There's just something about turning the pages of a magazine, just like putting a cartridge in your machine. Good magazine. That's it. I hope you guys support them. I'm just going to support them. That's it.
That's it.
Think of it as Glenn's bra. It's supportive. And Stephen, wait a second. How come all of us are wearing Star Wars shirts and you're not? What's wrong?
I am wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Yes. Let me see. I didn't see it. Yeah, I suppose that's like a modern. It's not like a real shirt.
Oh, it is a real shirt. Get out of here. I'm wearing.
Glenn,
I'm wearing.
where's your voice thing? Darth Vader voice.
Yeah.
I don't have that. All I can do is I can make Darth Vader sound like this. If it comes on.
Stephen, I am not your father.
All right, before we wrap this up, because I know the Super Game Room dudes are coming on, we're actually kicking around the idea of moving the show to a different night. So if we have to go over an hour, we're not.
I am not changing my show again, though. I'm not moving my show around.
That's
again.
right. You don't have to move your show.
Schedule.
You don't have to move your show. So let us know in the comments if that's something you would be cool with. We just if there's a time when we need more time, we don't want to be constrained because everybody they have their favorite shows they're going to go to. So. But there is a super chat here in the chat room from Ezekiel. He says, the Chicago Retro Ranger. Hey, guys, what's up?
What's up?
What's going on? So we're going to wrap this up, though. But we got Jade, if you want to check her out, youtube.com/SheLionGaming. She's going to have a lot of content coming up shortly, right?
This week. I'm going to drop a review video within the next couple days for the Shinku Hadouken. It's going to be cool, and there's definitely going to be some more content coming over the next 7 to 10 days. So keep an eye out, and thanks for your support.
Also, we want to thank Mr. Wild Bill. Next week, we're going to have a new segment from Mr. Wild Bill. I think it's going to be interesting. So, youtube.com/Bill's Retro Gaming Show, and I'm sure you're going to have some content from the trade show tomorrow that you knew nothing about.
I'm in shock. I'm totally surprised by it. I hope I can get a ticket.
Actually, I might have like 30, so we'll talk after the show, okay? All my friends deserted me this weekend, so I need someone to go with.
So check out Bill on his YouTube channel. And then also Glenn, I don't know if he's actually going to do a video. I mean, I think he still is on YouTube. There's no telling. youtube.com/GPlanamento. You might find him on the street. You might find him in a local club. There's a lot of things you might find with Glenn. So
Hadouken.
So you'll see him every Wednesday though with the Old Guy Show. Him and Steve
kicking it old school.
I said that. The Old Guy Show. Make sure you get over there and watch every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern because he's not moving his show. Gosh darn it! You guys could guys check it out. Guys, really appreciate it. You guys check it out. The techbuzz.net is my website, but you can like, subscribe, comment. I do a lot on TikTok, believe it or not. I started getting a pretty nice following over on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, go check it out. I post a lot of videos on there that I don't post anywhere else. So, and they're usually stupid videos, but people like them. Jade usually watches them,
That's right,
so
you
that's
built your
all.
audience. Stupid videos. They like them. That's
They're
really good.
right,
Yeah,
Jade. They're
I have
stupid videos.
I have TikTok.
That's
too,
all
yeah.
TikTok is.
She's
I've
Stupid
done
videos.
stupid videos. If you guys want to see a couple stupid videos, check mine out too, because there's
Yeah.
some really silly
Oh,
ones on there.
God, it's easy. Want to see stupid videos? I have like 562 on YouTube.
They've
Look
been
at all my
watching
stupid
you
videos.
all hour. They've seen plenty of stupid video. No, but in all seriousness, though, I'm trying to post different videos, and I'm also doing the YouTube Shorts. So the YouTube Shorts are going to be different videos as well. I've been putting a lot of those out. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you next week for more of Game Time. Have a good weekend.
Peace out.